Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So today I'm going to show you a little bit around my new kind of upgraded indoor plant room. My name's Soleil and I garden in mid-Michigan, and during the winter I like to come inside and do house plants. So I'm starting to kind of clean up this room and looking for some new pots to put my plants in that I have, just to kind of decorate it a little bit better. I'm liking the way that it's turned out so far. I've just used some materials from around my basement, including some paint and just whatever I could find. And that way it was really cheap, and I think it looks pretty good, but we're going to make it look even better. So join me as we take a look around the new planty room, and we'll also take a look at some of the plants that I have here, as well as picking out some pots. Okay, so over here you'll see that I have put together some plants. They're just kind of setting in different spots. And yes, there is a wine glass there. I'm kind of celebrating a little bit about starting to get this room together. So I have a nice lamp. I've got some different kinds of indoor house plants in here. And I'm just excited to show you what I have. We're going to be doing some potting videos soon and telling you all about the different kind of plants that I have, but a lot of these are just kind of sitting in their pots and waiting to be put into them. Now I have a fluorescent light that is doing a little buzzing, so I hope it's not too annoying, but that's what I've got down here. This is a basement room that I'm converting. Up here I have some cute cactuses and succulents that I thought would be so adorable to put up on this teeny tiny shelf on the pegboard. I didn't plant the pegboard at all. Down here I've got some beautiful ZZ plants and some alocasia and some watermelon peperomia, and I've got some really cool other plants, jade plants, and oh geez, look at this, an epipremnum over here, and some Micans philodendron, and a beautiful parlor fern. And over here I've got some gorgeous pothos. I got some neon ones. I got some Cebu blue. Now I got excited and went to my local nursery, and they had such a great plant selection this year. I'm hoping you guys have a better plant selection in places near you this year, but they definitely had a lot of different kinds of plants than they used to carry. A whole bunch of different selections of Hoya, etc. And then in the back in this, you will see I have a Monstera Adansonii, and these are all going to be potted up possibly together into this plant, but again, or into this pot, but again, I'm just kind of putting things around right now and trying to decide what goes where. And I'm also scrambling right now because I have things that are outside that I might want to bring in. So you can see up here, I have a geranium pot that I brought in from outside, along with a potato vine, and yeah, my succulent planters that have been outside, and I have some coleus cuttings. So let me just show you these coleus cuttings. If you haven't already, now's a great time to make sure that you've got them if you haven't had a freeze yet that killed them all the way off. But this is just a small glass jar that has some water in it, and you can see they're already taking root, so I definitely need to pot these up. We may even do that today. And these coleus are simply, there's 3 cuttings in here, and you just pop some of the leaves off, stick them in water, and they will root out. And I kind of was hoping to do it a few days ago, but just hadn't gotten around to it. So those are looking really good. And then let's look at the ones that are on the other side over here. I have some additional coleus cuttings that are actually up on my kitchen sink. And you can see this one is just full of roots, and I took these cuttings at the exact same time, so you will see that different coleus will root at different rates, but don't despair if one is taking a little longer than the other. The majority of them are fairly easy to root, and you'll have a pretty good success rate, even if you feel like you have no idea what you're doing. So this is the succulent planter that I planted at this point about 9 months ago, and it's just looking really beautiful. and I have certainly enjoyed it. All of those succulents from the Next Gardener, and they have really done a great job. I love this rose and blue one. All of them are still quite healthy despite all of this strange weather that we've had this year. We have some cute little succulents up front in a cactus. That's the Gasteria natita, and it's a variegated one. Then I have a rubber tree plant, Taneki. I was so excited to get this one. So I went to a plant sale, and I actually volunteered. We're really close to Michigan State University, which is a land-grant college that has a lot of horticultural students, and they have a great program there. And so I decided that I was going to volunteer because as a master gardener, you do have to get volunteer hours every year in addition to education hours. And so I thought it would be really fun to volunteer at the plant sale, helping with stock and helping answer customer questions. And it was an absolute blast. But also it was really expensive to volunteer because I found some great plants there, and I will do another video where I show you a little bit more about some of the plants that I got there as we pot them up. But it was so much fun. In fact, one of the ones that I got is up here. This one is a silver begonia, which is absolutely stunning, and I'm looking forward to finding a pot for that. And then I'm thinking about purchasing some additional different light setups down here. This is just a regular old set of plastic shelving that I have put lighting underneath, and so I have some bars of light, and then I put my plants under it. And so in here you'll see I have a flamenco. This is a flamenco begonia. I've got a plant that's in recovery in the back here, this philodendron, the heartleaf one. It was not getting enough light, and so I brought it down here, and I'm going to revive it, and then we'll find a new spot for it, a new home. And then this one, I know I'm going to say it wrong if I don't look. This is Solenocerius anthonianus, and its common name is zigzag cactus, which is much easier to remember. It kind of looks like fish bones to me. And so I need to find a nice pot for that. This one also is not in its pot right now, and I have no idea what this is. It was just labeled as a tropical plant, but I thought it was super cute, so I got that one. And then down here you'll see I brought my amaryllis in from outside. I don't know, they might have gotten drowned, but we'll see how they do now that they're indoors. They do still have quite a bit of green on the outside of the bulbs. And then I have a basil plant, which is fun because it just smells so good. And then back here you'll see I have some begonia cuttings that I am working on kind of rooting out here. So I have this lid over the top that just helps keep the humidity in while those are rooting. Up here at the top, I have some lavender that I cut the blooms off of my plants outdoors. I dried them upside down for a couple of weeks, and now they are a pretty little bouquet, along with some of my hydrangea cuttings that I brought in, and I still have plenty of them in the garden for really a lot of beauty still over the winter. And I did the same thing down at this end. Just kind of disguise some of the tools that are in the way. These are my vanilla strawberry cuttings, and so I think that's really pretty. Anyways, I do have a bit of a mess. Here is my box of pots, and so I'm looking forward to sorting through these and trying to figure out which ones go with which plants and potting them up and kind of cleaning them out before I do that, and making sure that I have some good soil for my plants. And I've got some more pots up here, and then Down here I have my soil mix and my soil containers. I have another bag of soil as well. And so I'll be putting those into that bin, and that way I can just have ready access to it when I want to. Now this lemon cypress tree over here smells also very nice, so I love bringing things indoors that smell good so that you can continue to just enjoy some of the things that you do outdoors during the warmer months when you come inside. So this lemon cypress tree would be really pretty. I do need to pot that on as well. So I've got a lot of work to do here, but I'm super excited about it. Oh, and I don't want to forget this Pilea glauca that's up here. This one's so pretty. I love how that just kind of goes over the edge of the pot. And then I don't think I showed you this philodendron micans. This is one that I had that's similar to my heartleaf. Philodendron got really weak and leggy because it was not getting enough light, and it is super happy where it's at under the lights down here. So I'm just going to continue to keep it here and make it grow on longer. So I'm just going to do a little bit of arranging now and set up the camera so you can check out what I'm doing. So something to think about when you're setting up a room that might be inside your house for plants is humidity, light, access to plugs, access to water. I do have the washing machine in this room, so we do have a tub with a sink that I can readily fill up my my watering can with, and that makes it really easy to water the plants when I need to. It also is important to have plugs so that you can plug your lights in wherever you need to, and have lots of extension cords. I think those have been vital for me to be able to put this room together. And then in addition to that, I would just say that I have some light timers, and let me show you one. Just a sec, I'll grab it. Okay, so this is my heavy duty timer, and I have several of these, and I put them into the light socket, and they're really easy to use. I just set the times that I want the lights to be on for and when I want them to be off, and they do all of the work for me, so I don't have to worry about turning them on every day and remember to turn them off. So that's a really great thing to have. All right, let's see what pots we have right now. So I have quite a few different pots, and I really like to choose pots that kind of go with the plant. So I have a few plants that I haven't picked out a pot for yet, and I want to make sure that they fit with the size of the root ball along with the plant kind of shape and the texture of the leaves, etc. So let's see what we can find. I feel like this one will look really pretty in this kind of off-white container. What do you think? I like that. And then my begonia. This one's very pink and kind of frilly. It's got lots of different colors in it. What do you think about this one? That might be okay. Maybe something a little more plain. I think it might really like this terracotta pot. It's tall, it can grow some really good roots. I like that. I do really like terracotta also, just because for me, I have a tendency to overwater. So it's good to get to know your habits with houseplants, because I have to tell you that some people are chronic underwaterers, some people are chronic overwaterers, and if you get to know what your habits are, you can kind of help adjust your techniques in watering to be able to accommodate for that and get more plants to live. So I just try to remember when I last watered and make sure that I don't even check my plants for at least another week before I water. And then when I do, it's really important for me to stick my finger in there or get out my moisture meter and check to make sure that they're doing well. All right. Zigzag cactus, this one really needs not very much water at all, so I'm thinking a small terracotta pot for this one. That would look super cute, don't you think? Okay, well, we've got some plants and some pots matched up, and a lot of the plants and pots, as I've said, that I have out here already really need to be potted up. I do want to put something as well into this really tall container in the back. I don't know if you can see it here. Let me move this. So the one that the philodendron micans is in right here, I want to get something that's tall, and so I'm thinking about taking this parlor palm here, and because it's running out of space for its roots within this one, I want to put it into here, and I think that will look really pretty, especially next to this ZZ plant. What do you think? I think I've got a lot of planting and potting to do. I hope you'll join me for the next video when I show you how I plant and pot these up. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!